The Dragon Lord arrived alone, unaccompanied by Long Chixin and Long Kyingsin. Upon seeing Yun Chi and Hua Kali, a smile bloomed on his old, ravine-creased face. Seeing the divine son of Abyss's complexion, it seems you have recovered. Divine son, you silently endured a double measure of the abyssal devourance. Such a feat is unprecedented, and I imagine it will be difficult for anyone to follow. The shock in this old one's heart has yet to fade even now. To witness a hero of your caliber in my twilight years leaves me with no regrets in this life. Yun Chi sat up and said apologetically, Senior Dragon Lord, you praise me too highly. This junior is truly unworthy. My body is still weak, so I cannot rise to show proper respect. I hope Senior will forgive my discourtesy. Divine son, you are too serious. So noble, so talented and strong-willed, yet still so humble and courteous. The praise and admiration in Long Zhaiming's eyes deepened. The divine son of Abyss and the heaven-folding divine maiden are truly a match made in heaven, a perfect pair. Having now overcome such a great obstacle, you will surely become a timeless legend in the Abyss. Thinking of his own son, on whom he had lavished the entire clan's resources, and even resorted to unscrupulous means to cultivate, his heart soured with a sigh compared to the man before him. The difference was more than that between a firefly and the bright moon. Hua Kali was quite pleased by Long Zhaiming's praise. She could also sense Yun Chi's respect for the Dragon Lord, so she replied with great deference, Thank you for your compliments, Senior Dragon Lord. Big Brother Yun and I will definitely work hard together to become the timeless legend you spoke of. Ha 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 ha. Long Zhaiming laughed heartily. Yun Chi asked directly, Senior Dragon Lord, may I ask what guidance you have for me today? I would not dare to offer guidance. Long Zhaiming paused for a moment, seemingly choosing his words before lowering his voice. It's just that, when the divine son of Abyss was enduring the punishment of abyssal devourance, this old one seemed to sense a dragon's aura surrounding you, and it felt like the aura of my clan's ancestral dragon. I wonder, could it be that this old one is getting on in years, my spiritual senses are failing, and my perception was mistaken? So that's what it was. Yun Chi's expression remained unchanged upon hearing this, a faint, calm smile still playing on his lips. Senior Dragon Lord's perception is, of course, not mistaken. Since you have asked, this junior will not hide it. In the years this junior spent wandering, my master bestowed upon me several drops of ancestral dragon's blood and a piece of dragon marrow, so I suppose I have a sliver of the dragon bloodline. However, as it concerns my master, it was not convenient for this junior to speak of it lightly to others, which is why I could not explain it to Senior Dragon Lord at the first opportunity. Meeting Yun Chi's clear, untainted, and candid gaze, Long Zhaiming was half shocked and half delighted. I see. To think that the divine son of Abyss has such a deep connection with my ancestral dragon lineage. Given Yun Chi's performance, which everyone in the Pure Land had witnessed, his future status and achievements were bound to reach the absolute pinnacle. If the Dragon Clan were close to him with a bloodline connection as a bond, it would bring countless benefits and no harm. Yun Chi took the opportunity to add, I imagine that when Long Zai helped me back then, it was likely because he sensed the ancestral dragon's aura on me. Indeed. Long Zhaiming nodded repeatedly. He had been puzzled as to why someone of Long Zai's temperament would take the initiative to help another, but now it all made sense. I suppose that master of yours must be with my Dragon Clan's ancestors. Realizing his slip of the tongue halfway through, he corrected himself. How could this old one dare to speculate about an extraordinary person like your esteemed master? Please forgive me. With that, he took out a square jade stone, pale white all over and inscribed with a faintly glowing profound formation, from which a dormant dragon's might could be felt. The ancestral Dragon Mountain Range, where my Dragon Clan resides, is perpetually protected by a massive isolation barrier to ward off the abyssal dust. With this jade tablet, the divine son of Abyss can enter and exit at will. In times of need, show this tablet, and any ancestral dragon who sees it will surely offer their full assistance. This, Yun Chi seemed taken aback by the gravity of the gift. How could this junior be worthy? However, Long Zhaiming placed the jade tablet directly into Yun Chi's hand, took a step back, and smiled. With that, this old one will await the arrival of the divine son of Abyss and the heaven-folding divine maiden in the ancestral Dragon Mountain Range at any time. After Long Zhaiming left, Hua Kali immediately put on a look of admiration that was half genuine and half teasing. Wow, as expected of my big brother Yun, I've never even heard of this Dragon Clan jade tablet. Truly, one day in Eden to astound the world, and now who doesn't sing your praises? He he. Yun Chi put the jade tablet away. The cold, stiff face and nearly emotionless voice of Long Zai flashed through his sea of soul as he remarked casually, "Having received such a gift, I suppose I should find some time to pay the Dragon Clan a visit. Then let's go together." The young woman, who had no interest in the Dragon Clan, now had eyes sparkling with brilliant anticipation. It was not the distant scenery she yearned for, but the person she would journey with. Just then, Meng Kongchen walked in slowly, his steps clearly hesitant and heavy. Even his aura was several degrees weaker than usual. Yun Chi sensed it instantly, and with a premonition asked, "Senior, has something happened?" As the matter involved the unfathomable Abyssal Emperor, Meng Kongchen didn't know whether to appear relaxed to ease Yun Chi's nerves or solemn to warn him to be extremely cautious. In the end, he could only manage a neutral posture, speaking in a measured tone. "The Abyssal Emperor has sensed that you have awoken. He wants you to see him at the Eden Sacred Hall, and it is an immediate audience." "Ah!" Hua Kaylee shot up from Yun Chi's side, her beautiful eyes instantly filled with anxiety. "Uncle Abyssal Emperor, did he say why he wants to see Big Brother Yun?" Meng Kongchen shook his head. "The emperor's will cannot be fathomed. You. He wanted to try and soothe Yun Chi's emotions, but he found the young man's eyes were as calm as still water, completely devoid of the apprehension and fear one should have when facing the Abyssal Emperor alone. Meng Kongchen's heart immediately relaxed. He faced even the punishment of abyssal devourance with fearless dignity. What in this world could truly make him afraid? Yun Chi swung himself off the jade couch. Though his face was pale and his footing unsteady, his smile was exceptionally genuine. To be summoned by the Abyssal Emperor is a monumental honor that countless people would not dare to dream of in their entire lives. How could I be slow to respond? I will go at once. When Yun Chi walked out, Dugu Zhaiyuan was waiting quietly. Seeing Yun Chi, he clasped his fist in salute. "Divine Son of Abyss." This gesture made Meng Kongchen's brows twitch and Hua Kaylee's lips part slightly. Given Dugu Zhaiyuan's supreme status, this seemed to be the first time he had ever bowed to a divine son of a god kingdom. It was clear that Yun Chi's feat of withstanding a double measure of the abyssal devourance had won the admiration of more than just the people of the god kingdoms. Yun Chi returned the salute. "Senior Dugu, I have long heard of your great name." Dugu Zhaiyuan stepped aside. "The Abyssal Emperor has summoned the divine Son of Abyss for an audience at the Eden Sacred Hall and has ordered me to escort you the entire way. Please, I am in your debt." Yun Chi nodded slightly and strode forward. His excessive composure also brought a look of surprise to Dugu Zhaiyuan's eyes. Dugu Zhaiyuan gave a slight nod to Meng Kongchen. Just as he was about to leave, he suddenly turned back to Hua Kaylee. "Kaylee, I have an improper request, and I hope you will not hesitate to help." "Eh?" Hua Kaylee's eyes curved. "For Uncle Dugu to be so polite all of a sudden, it can't be anything good. I'm guessing it probably has to do with my aunt again." Dugu Zhaiyuan smiled faintly. "Kaylee is as sharp as ever. I have fought the sword immortal 12 times. The current record is 6 losses, 3 wins, and 3 draws. I have never been quite able to accept this. I have recently had a breakthrough and am eager to battle the sword immortal once more. I finally have the chance to see her in the Pure Land, but unfortunately she has completely ignored my challenge." "Just as I thought," Hua Kaylee said with a beaming smile. "So Uncle Dugu wants me to persuade my aunt to fight you again?" Yun Chi's heart stirred. As the first Abyssal Knight, he had naturally long known of Dugu Zhaiyuan's name. But for him to be only slightly inferior to Hua Qingying in combat, even having won 3 times, was something he couldn't help but be shocked by. "Yes," Dugu Zhaiyuan admitted frankly, his expression sincere. "If Kaylee is willing to help, you may name any condition." The information about Dugu Zhaiyuan emphasized that while he appeared resolute yet refined, in his bones, he was a complete martial arts fanatic and battle maniac. His power and current status stemmed from the pursuit of the profound way that was deeply ingrained in his soul from birth. His diligence and obsession with the profound way were beyond the imagination of ordinary practitioners. The only pity was that while his talent was extremely high, it was ultimately a sliver weaker than those blessed by the heavens. And this seemingly minuscule sliver was a chasm that even several times the effort could not cross, preventing him from ever truly surpassing Hua Qingying. Hua Kaylee seemed to think it over seriously before nodding. "All right, I will try to persuade my aunt, but the final decision is still up to her. After all, although my aunt is obsessed with the way of the sword, she doesn't enjoy fighting." A strange light flashed in Dugu Zhaoyuan's eyes as he said earnestly, "Thank you. If my wish is granted, I will reward you handsomely. Divine Son of Abyss, please." As Yun Qi followed Dugu Zhaoyuan into the distance, the relaxed demeanor Hua Kaylee had been forcing instantly crumbled, leaving her at a loss and overwhelmed with worry. Uncle Meng, could it be that Uncle Abyssal Emperor has sensed some secret about Big Brother Yun? There are too many extraordinary things about Yun Qi. His profound energy can erupt with power far exceeding his realm. He possesses multiple coexisting elemental profound energies, the ancestral dragon bloodline, and even light profound energy. On top of that, there is his rumored master, who is exceedingly mysterious, yet no one has ever learned a single thing about him. It's enough to make even an existence like the Abyssal Emperor take deep notice, and even— No, Meng Kongqun shook his head, his gaze fixed on the distant Eden Cloud summit. The Abyssal Emperor's temperament is extremely cold. He is utterly indifferent to all things. He possesses none of the desires known to the secular world, nor does he ever probe into the secrets of others. Even a miracle that is unprecedented in the eyes of the world would not be worthy of a sideways glance from him. "Oh, that's good. Father God seems to have said something similar before." Hua Kaylee breathed a small sigh of relief. Little did she know, it was precisely because of the Abyssal Emperor's temperament that the worry in Meng Kongqun's heart grew even heavier. "Reporting to your eminence, all areas surrounding the Pure Land have been searched, and some informants have been mobilized, but no trace of Pan Buwang's aura has been found." The Keheng Divine Sovereign listened quietly, his expression unmoved, but his eyes were dark and unreadable. After a long silence, the elder making the report ventured, "If Pan Buwang truly wished to return to the God Kingdom, he would have released his aura to allow us to track him, even from a distance. But this time, in my humble opinion, it seems he truly has no intention of returning." "Impossible," another elder at his side immediately retorted. "It's just posturing and attempt to gain leverage. He went to such great lengths and schemed so much to come to the Pure Land and put on such a grand show. Does anyone really believe it was all for a mere jade knot? For all we know, he's already on his way back to the kingdom, unable to wait any longer. So in my opinion, there's no need to actively search for him. Just give him the cold shoulder and he'll come back obediently." Pan Yusheng remained silent for a long time, his thoughts unknown. Pan Buzuo, who had been eavesdropping from the side, could finally bear it no longer. He strode over, trying his best to suppress his emotions. "Father God, are you really going to let Pan Buwang come back?" Pan Yusheng glanced at him coolly. He should come back. Pan Buzuo's heart clenched violently. No matter how hard he tried to control himself, a hint of unease still showed on his face. "But, no buts," Pan Yusheng cut him off coldly. "You can rest assured. You are still the Coyote Divine Son. He will never take your place. Never." These two words, leaving no room for doubt, spoken by the Keheng Divine Sovereign, clearly displayed his resolute attitude and instantly eased the tension on Pan Buzuo's face. He should come back because we must comply with the Abyssal Emperor's attitude. And more importantly, he narrowed his eyes, a dark glint flashing within. His body of darkness and the Pan's Abyssal Knight Severance one he comprehended are immense assets that can eternally benefit our Coyote God Kingdom. How can they be allowed to remain outside? He turned, his demonic eyes wreathed in black light, staring directly into Pan Buzuo's. "Buzuo, listen well. I give you my guarantee as your father and as the Keheng Divine Sovereign. Unless a perfect divine persona descends upon the Coyote God Kingdom in this era, no one can shake your position as Divine Son." But his voice suddenly turned sinister, his chilling gaze seeming to pierce straight through to the bottom of his son's soul. "After Pan Buwang returns, you are not to use those filthy tricks on him again. If you can't stand the sight of him, then stay as far away as possible. Otherwise—" Pan Buzuo hastily gave his assurance, his tone respectful and urgent. "Rest assured, Father God. Back then, when I first became Divine Son, I was plagued by constant anxiety and made a mistake. I have grown since then and understand what is important. I would never again do anything to trouble or disappoint Father God." "HMPH, you'd better." Clearly, Pan Yusheng also believed that no matter how much Pan Buwang postured, deep down he must want to return to the Coyote God Kingdom. After all, even if he couldn't be the Divine Son again, he was still an imperial son of the Coyote God Kingdom. An imperial son of a God Kingdom, with the backing of his kingdom and the notice of the Abyssal Emperor. Compared to that, there was no way he would choose to wander alone. "Divine Son of Abyss, we have arrived." The Eden Sacred Hall, the highest place within the highest land. Pure white outer walls, a simple, square palace with a square main gate, devoid of any decoration or carving, only the ultimate in simplicity and purity. Yun-Chi paused briefly before stepping alone into the Eden Sacred Hall. The moment his foot crossed the threshold, the world seemed to shift silently. As far as the eye could see, there was an emptiness that seemed to have no end. Pale white walls, a light gray floor, and nothing else. Tap, tap, tap. The sound of his footsteps was so clear it was as if they were right next to his ear. As he walked, Yun-Chi gradually became aware of his own breathing, his heartbeat, and even the sound of every wisp of air flowing. Tap, tap, tap. The world ahead remained the same, unchanging, with no end in sight. Unconsciously, the existence of space began to blur, and he even started to lose his sense of time's passage. Every part of this place, every wisp of its aura, silently spoke two words: solitude. And this silently rendered solitude made his steps feel powerless, his heart and soul turn desolate, and the world grow dim and lightless. A lone figure seemed to walk, sword pointed at the heavens. Questioning fate in sorrow, someone seemed to play a zither under the moon, strings snapping. Notes choked with memories of a butterfly's face. Someone seemed to suffer a broken heart and shattered soul, weaving a cradle alone in Eden. Someone seemed to gaze with a brush in hand, ink falling on plain paper as tears fell unseen. Someone seemed to lie in the snow listening to the wind, bitterly awaiting spring's return to melt the ice. Someone seemed to burn incense before the moon, praying for a butterfly's shadow to return to their dreams. The road ahead was vast and indistinct, filled only with despair. After an unknown amount of time, after crossing an unknown amount of space, a figure with its back to him suddenly appeared in the world ahead. He had clearly just appeared in view, yet it felt as if he had always been there, having kept a lonely vigil for 100 years, 1,000 years, 10,000 years. 1,000,000 years. Yun-Chi stopped, silently gazing at the back before him. A long, dustless white robe nearly blended into the world. Only the black bracelet on his wrist added a striking touch of color, affirming his existence in this world. The Abyssal Emperor. He had already rehearsed this scene of facing the Abyssal Emperor alone in his mind countless times. And each time his information about the Abyssal Emperor changed, especially with every revelation from the heretic god's memory fragments. The content of his rehearsal would be completely overturned. This was because it might be a crucial juncture directly related to the fate of his homeland. Every possible word, every possible scene, every possible accident. He had to consider, weigh, and deduce them countless times. Now the moment had finally arrived. He did not bow or pay his respects, simply watching in silence. It was as if he were not facing the supreme, revered Abyssal Emperor, but an ancient statue that had been weathered by countless ages. Finally, at a certain moment, the Abyssal Emperor's voice sounded in the lonely world. "Yun-Chi, you are truly audacious." His voice carried no majesty, nor did it betray any joy or anger, yet to any being who heard it, it was a celestial decree that could not be defied, causing their very soul to shrink and submit in an instant. This was an absolute divine pressure originating from a higher plane, rooted in the very fabric of existence. "Everything you have done in the Pure Land has been within my sight." He slowly turned around. His pale eyes, covered in a faint divine light, looked into Yun-Chi's. From his lips came the indifferent divine words, "Filthy methods defiling the Pure Land." The Abyssal Emperor's temperament was cold yet gentle. The divine sovereigns of the god kingdoms could go their entire lives without hearing a single word of reprimand from him. The records of the 6 god kingdoms did not mention him being angry even once. Yet now he delivered such a severe rebuke, one that would be enough to make any divine sovereign of a god kingdom lose their composure in terror on the spot.